Hello, my dear friends. Today we are going to discuss about the cryptographic algorithms. In these cryptographic algorithms, we are going to see about the symmetric ciphers, asymmetric encryption, hash functions, mutual trust, network security, and computer security. So first, let us see what are the several standards organizations. The first one, NIST, stands for National Institute of Standards and Technology. Next, Internet Society is shortly called as ISOC. Next, ITUT, which stands for International Telecommunication Union Telecommunication Standardization Sector. Next, ISO stands for International Organization for Standardization or International Standards Organization, RSA Labs. So here we are going to see about the introduction. So, as quoted by Carl Van, the combination of space, time, and strength that must be considered as the basic elements of this theory of defense makes this a fairly complicated matter. Consequently, it is not easy to find a fixed point of departure. So, what is computer security? We can define the computer security as the protection afforded to an automated information system in order to attain the applicable objectives of preserving the integrity, availability, and confidentiality of information system resources, which includes hardware, software, firmware, information or data, and telecommunications. So, what are the key security concepts? We have confidentiality, integrity, and availability. What is the levels of impact? It can define three levels of impact from a security breach, whether it is low, moderate, or high. So, what is low impact? The loss could be expected to have a limited adverse effect on organizational operations, organizational assets, or individuals. A limited adverse effect means that, for example, the loss of confidentiality, integrity, or availability might. The loss could be expected to have a limited adverse effect on organizational operations, organizational assets, or individuals. A limited adverse effect means that, for example, the loss of confidentiality, integrity, or availability might cause a degradation in mission capability to an extent and duration that the organization is able to perform its primary functions, but the effectiveness of the functions is noticeably reduced. So, result in minor damage to organization, result in minor financial loss, or result in minor harm to individuals. So, what is moderate impact? The loss could be expected to have a serious adverse effect on organizational operations, assets, or individuals. A serious adverse effect means that, example, the loss might cause a significant degradation in mission capability to an extent and duration that the organization is able to perform its primary functions, but the effectiveness of the functions is significantly reduced. Result in significant damage to organizational assets, result in significant financial loss, or result in significant harm to individuals or involve loss of life or serious life threatening. What is the high impact? So the loss could be expected to have a severe or catastrophic adverse effect on organizational operations, organizational assets, or individuals. So a severe or catastrophic adverse effect means that, for example, The loss might cause a severe degradation in or loss of mission capability to an extent and duration that the organization is not able to perform one or more of its primary functions. So it may result in major damage to organization, result in major financial loss, or result in severe or catastrophe. So what are the examples of security requirements? As we all know, confidentiality. For example, student grades. Next, integrity, patient information. Next, availability, authentication service, authenticity, admission ticket, non-repudiation, stock sell order. What are the computer security challenges? It is not simple, easy to get it wrong. Must consider the potential attacks. Procedures used to counter initiative. So involve algorithms and secret information. Must decide where to deploy mechanisms. Battle of wits between attacker or admin. Not perceived to be of benefit until it fails. Requires regular monitoring. A process. It's not an event. Too often an afterthought. Regarded as impediment to using the system resource. Unusable security is not secure. So what does this OSI security architecture? It's ITU X.800 security architecture for OSI. Defines a systematic way of defining and providing security requirements. For us, it provides a useful, if abstract, overview of concepts we'll study. Aspects of security. Consider three aspects of information security: security attack, security mechanism or control, security service. Note terms. Threat. Threat means a potential for violation of security. Vulnerability. A way by which loss can happen. Attack. An assault on system security. A deliberate attempt to evade security. So we know passive attack, interception. Bob, for example, Bob and Alice, they need to send the message through the internet or other communications facility. So Darth is reading contents of message from Bob to Alice. That is called interception. Next, what is traffic analysis in passive attack? Bob again here sends a message to the Alice through internet or other communications facility, but Darth here observe the traffic pattern. What is interruption? So Bob sends a signal to a Alice, but it is not delivered to Alice directly. It was interrupted by Dad through a block delivery of message. Next, fabrication. Here, fabrication comes under active attack. Here, a Bob sends the signal to Alice, whereas meanwhile in the middle, Dad is going to capture this signal and he is going to fabricate the message. That is not able to send the original message. He is going to modify the message. Next, replay. Bob sends the message to actually Alice, but here Darth is going to capture message from Bob to Alice. Later, replay the message to Alice. What is modification in active attack? Bob sends actually message to Alice, but in the meanwhile, Darth is going to interfere and he is going to modify the message. How to handle attacks? Handling attacks. Passive attacks. Focus on prevention. Easy to stop, hard to detect. Active attacks. Focus on detection and recovery. It is also hard to stop, easy to detect. Security service. enhance the security of data pre-processing systems and information transfers of an organization. Security service is intended to counter security attacks. Security service using one or more security mechanisms. It often replicates functions normally associated with physical documents, which, for example, have signatures, dates, need protection from disclosure, tampering, destruction, be notarized or witnessed, recorded or licensed. X.800, a service provided by a protocol layer of communicating open systems, which ensures adequate security of the systems or of data transfers. Next, RFC 2828, a processing or communication service provided by a system to give a protection to system resource. Here we can see authentication is nothing but assurance that communicating entity is the one claim. Have both peer entity and data origin authentication. Access control is prevention of the unauthorized use of a resource. Data confidentiality, protection of data from unauthorized disclosure. Data integrity means assurance that data received is as sent by an authorized entity. Non-repudiation, protection against one of the parties in a communication. Availability, resource accessible or usable. Security mechanism, aka control. The feature designed to detect, prevent, or recover from a security attack. No single mechanism that will support all services required. However, one particular element underlies many of the security mechanisms. Cryptographic techniques. Hence, our focus is on this topic. Security mechanisms X.800. Specific security mechanisms are encipherment, digital signatures, access controls, data integrity, authentication, exchange, traffic padding, routing control, notarization. Pervasive security mechanisms, trusted functionality, security labels, event detection, security audit trails, security recovery. So here we can see model for network security. The sender is going to send the message. Afterwards, a secret information, the security related transformation will be done. And that secure message is now prepared and it will be sent through the information channel. And again, that secure message will be read by the particular recipient. Here you can observe a trusted third party, for example, arbiter, distributor of secret information will be there. How they are going to have the connection established between sender and receiver. Here, what is a model for network security enhances or explains? Using this model requires us to design a suitable algorithm for the security transformation. It generates the secret information, that is nothing but the keys used by the algorithm. It develops methods to distribute and share the secret information. Specify a protocol enabling the principals to use the transformation and secret key information for security service. See here, a model for network access security. Opponent will be there, a human, example hacker or a software, example virus or worm will be there. Access channel. Here gatekeeper function. The information system will be there. Computing resources like processor, memory, I/O, data process software. These are the internal security controls that we get. So here the gatekeeper is able to restrict the humans, that is hackers or virus or worms, not to enter the information system because it may not able to allow those particular opponents. So if, for example, if they allow, what happens that information system may be corrupted or it may collapse. So that is using this model requires us to select appropriate gatekeeper functions to identify the users. And also using this model requires us to implement security controls to ensure only authorized users access designated information or resources. Note that model does not include monitoring or system for successful penetration. Note that model does not include monitoring of authorized users for this audit logging for forensic use. Some topic roadmap and standards organizations we have covered. Security concepts have been covered like confidentiality, integrity, availability. We have already seen about the X.800 security architecture. Security attack services mechanisms have been covered. Models for network security. Thank you.